you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. The sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout Coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today. Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Deep Dive. Deep Dive is where we dive deep into geocaching topics. Each episode features in-depth discussions and aims to provide a deeper understanding and appreciation of geocaching. And we hope to inspire listeners to explore new aspects of our great sport. So I'm the Pizza Ninja, and I'm here to ask some hard-hitting questions tonight in rapid-fire fashion. Oh, man. I'm ready. I don't know if you guys are.
That's right.
Born ready. Right, Jesse?
Oh, man.
Yeah, it doesn't count unless you make somebody cry.
Okay. I got some questions. I think that's going to get some tears out there tonight.
There you go.
Just to warn you guys. And I heard tonight we're doing a giveaway with the hashtag Rapid. So anybody who wants to participate in the giveaway, please enter in Rapid and you will be entered.
Yep. We appreciate John last minute producing, since I'm having technical issues on the road. So I'm using my laptop. I'm using my phone. And it's a little tricky to try to do all of it but from the phone. So we're letting John run the show, which is great because he can ask us all the questions.
He's in charge tonight.
Yeah,
he is.
And there's some interesting questions, and we do have a clue for a new key for Cache Fest, the Vault, on here. And I believe when we were doing the show, kind of talking about this beforehand, we're actually going to give it out at the end of this show. Yep. So for those who want to get that clue to that new key, which we're thinking this one's going to go fast. I think maybe this weekend, in fact, our sense is somebody's going to find this one.
You never know.
Yeah, so you don't want to miss that clue. Don't want to miss that clue.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And Nicole, yes, a bonus co-host and some bonus questions.
I know we do. It's awesome.
We need to hide one of those keys where it moves somehow.
Oh, that would be awesome.
A train or a boat or something.
Right.
It's moving around the country.
Yep. Put it on the back of a good puppy dog that's traveling the country.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. That could be fun on a hot air balloon, perhaps, on that one too.
A hot air balloon, yeah, that'd be good. Train, I like the train idea.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we're not going to be allowed to do that.
Well, this isn't geocaching. Yeah, thank you, Houston, Texas, Dave. I will admit some of the questions I may ask tonight may involve pizza, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
On this side.
There you go.
So, gentlemen, I think you know the rules for tonight's show. Do we have a good understanding? I will ask questions, and we're looking for honest answers on this one.
Oh, boy.
Nobody said anything about honest.
Oh, okay. I think that's what we agreed to before we did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta tell the truth, Jesse.
I agree that Gary should be honest.
Oh, man. And Direwolf, you never know if a key could be hidden in your front yard.
That'd be funny to do that, and have somebody else find it. And they're like, "Oh man, it's in your front yard." Like, how close can we get it to you, and you still can't find it?
I have hidden a challenge right in front of somebody's house before that I knew they would not be able to qualify for like 2 years, and it was like right in front of their house.
Oh wow!
Just for fun, just for my fun.
And what was it named? Was it a tribute cache for that cacher?
No, I just gave it a standard caching name. It was years ago, and it was fun for me anyway. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
They may not have liked it as much, but I did.
I've got Dr. Pepper. Yes.
Oh,
do.
man.
From
Yes, it's in a Bucky's cup too.
I can see.
I'm sorry, I
Buc-ee's
said that
from-
wong. It's in a Boosie's cup.
I can see Buc-ee's from my hotel. It's over.
That's how it's spelled, Boosie's, right?
Oh, man.
Buc-ee's is right over there.
I'm gonna get hate mail now.
It's okay. You don't have to love it.
You're going to get an angry beaver coming knocking at your door, maybe.
That'd be funny. Just some dude in a beaver outfit showing up. So
Oh,
Dear
man.
family show. Okay, let's keep going.
Family show. Okay, shifting topics. So the first question out there goes to Jesse.
Oh, I get to go
And,
first.
yes.
and the question, Jesse, if you had to pick a topping on pizza to eat for the rest of your life, and it could only be one topping, and the options were pineapple and pickle, what would you pick?
Wait, that wasn't on my list. What are these questions coming from?
This is the dealer's choice, I guess. So
It's
my
on the
options
list
are pineapple
Produce.
and pickle.
Producers, I tell you.
Yeah,
Is that the
pineapple
only
and
thing on
pickle.
there, or does that go with some meat?
No. Only thing on there. So it's either pickle or pineapple.
Pickle or pineapple?
So I'm going to say, first of all, that's not a pizza. Second of all, I mean, if there's no meat on it, it's not a pizza. So, so you're talking about cheesy bread with a topping. If I'm going to have to pick cheesy bread with a topping, it's going to have to be a pickle, not pineapple for the rest of my life. I've got to go with pickle for that one.
Well, you know, the chat room seems like it's with you on this one. We got retrograde Miguel. No.
Yeah, I think I would give up pizza if I had that option.
Oh man.
If it's not meat on it, is it really a pizza? If there's no meat at all, is it a pizza?
Oh man. Seems like you're trying to answer my question with another question.
Just saying.
You're dodging.
You're the pizza expert. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm not going to award a point for you on that answer. Just saying.
Oh, okay.
Just
Oh,
saying.
now we're in a point system. I see how it is.
Well, yeah. We have
Exactly.
to keep track of points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now the next question is for Gary on this one.
Okay.
And Gary, this is a good question. Why is there no or little geocaching in certain areas?
Why is there no little geocache?
Why are there not very many geocaches in certain? Like we just did the show the other night.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's happened over time?
Oh, gotcha. Well, probably there's a couple of reasons. One is probably the country has a lot of lockdown situations, sort of like Pakistan. Certain areas, though, I know also have issues where they don't allow it. So we went through the rules that one day, and there's a lot of places that just are off limits.
Yeah.
So
I did
Sadly.
look it up prior to this, and
sadly,
according to HQ, 191 countries out of 195 currently have geocaches in them.
oh wow, I always thought it was everybody but North Korea, but there's a,
But
Interesting.
apparently that doesn't mean. Well, there's the shifting definition of country.
that's
whatever,
true.
right? But
yeah, South
um,
Sudan and
it
different
doesn't mean they
places.
have an active community. It just means has a geocache.
Right.
So I think most of them have it, but yeah, that like the interview the other night, there was only a couple people doing it for the whole country. So
Yep. Well,
Man, that is
there's
wild.
I know there's some states that don't allow caches in cemeteries. I don't know about New York. I know in Texas, pretty much every cemetery is going to have a cache in it because it's allowed. So
I wonder if there's any towns or cities that have outlawed geocaching.
we have a city down here in Texas that Quitman, which they have tried to stamp it out completely. So if anybody ever tries to put one there, and they find out about it, they try to get rid of it. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I know where I'm putting every lab cache I ever get from now on. Then
Yeah, it all inundate equipment with.
I'll put it right at town hall.
Virtuals.
I'm thinking what we should do too is a change.org petition to change the name of their town to Geocache.
Right.
That's right. There is a town called Cache in Oklahoma.
There is. I mean, spelled correctly too.
Yeah. It even has cache police on the cars and also on the police cars. I've been there.
It's very cool.
Did you find a cache or did you DNF a cache and cache?
I absolutely found a cache there. I found a 5.5 close to there. So
yeah,
like an old virtual 5.5.
I took a picture of the
school. We are totally off topic right now. I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, go ahead.
We've only done one question, so
yeah, so it's okay. So Gary gets a word of point on that one. So Gary, you're doing pretty good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm not going to be shut out tonight. Like this
you're welcome. You're on the board. Let's see if we can get Jesse back on the board on this one since he gave the non-answer to the pizza question.
I picked one. I picked pickle.
He did. He picked one. He picked pickle.
I see how this is stacked against me.
I would have picked pickle too. I'm not. I mean, if you had to, I like.
Okay.
Still wouldn't call it a pizza, but yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So the question for Jesse is, what is the greatest geocache you've ever found?
See, I hate this question. It's hard. That's such a wide category, right?
It is.
But I'll stick with the one that I've kind of stuck with the whole time. And I think it was a milestone. And now I can't remember. It may have been 1,500 or something like that. Maybe it was 1,000 or 2,000. It was somewhere towards the beginning. But it's not even active anymore, I don't believe. It's called Queen's Staircase. It was down in the Bahamas, and I've talked about this before, but the reason why I think it was, I did not necessarily, I downloaded the caches because we were in another country, right, ahead of time, but I didn't really do a lot of research because we thought we're just going to get off and grab one. And it's one of those things where somebody just told you kind of like, hey, there's this cool feature over here. And it hit all the marks. Like the container was fine, but like, it was something we wouldn't have found without geocaching. It was a huge historical site. It was absolutely breathtaking, the area. And the whole family was there going to find it and working on it together. We didn't just walk up and grab it. It took a little bit to find it. So like the search, everything was there. It was old. It was beautiful. And there's zero way we would have found this feature without there being a geocache there. So that still probably reigns as, even though it was an easy one to find as far as like difficulty, still got to be one of the best caches ever. And like when we look back at the pictures, we all still enjoy it. There's like, memories come back when you look back at the pictures of it. So that's still got to be one of my favorite ones ever. And it's just, I think it got archived or whatever, but it may not have. It may have been fixed later, but it was awesome. Actually, I think somebody put a virtual there to replace the traditional, but
wow.
It's just one of those really, really breathtaking places that you go that you can't forget,
Yeah, man. Sounds like a great moment, especially shared with the experience with everybody. I think,
right? Like when you have that, and it's your whole family there too, because we're coming off a cruise, and you can't beat that experience in geocaching. You don't have those all the time.
No, those great shared experiences are awesome. Looking for the chat on here. How many points does Jesse get for that answer?
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'd say that was a solid one.
In fairness, I have mentioned that before, but it's still, even after I think we're 11,000 or something in, it still is one of the most memorable experiences we ever had. Oh, the TARDIS. I have never been to one of the full-size TARDISes, and I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, so it's not fair.
Oh, man.
I want one at my house. I don't think that's going to happen, but I want one at my house.
I was going to say, do you know anybody that could build one of those?
I could build that. I could do that. I could build it if I had permission to build it at my house.
Oh man.
The wife may not want a full-size TARDIS at our house, but she's a geocacher, but I don't think she's gonna fly with that one. But
well, that's a true test of love, right? If you got a TARDIS out there and you guys are still together, I mean that's That's a true test of
I
love
don't
right
want to
there.
build the TARDIS that I have to sleep in. So
It is
Yeah, you
bigger
don't
on
do
the
that.
inside than the outside, from what I've heard. So maybe that would work
hey,
out.
there's
But
extra room for me. Good.
yeah, so
Good.
Jesse, the chat room is giving you some points here. We got a 1,
There you go.
Good
plus
point.
1, and
Plus
Retro
1,
Gaming
I love
Gal
it.
said a
1.2.
1.2.
1.2.
Okay, so thank you, judges, on that one. Officially, Jesse's on the board, and Brad is encouraging you to do it,
Hey.
Memphis.
Hey, actually, Brad could help. Brad has a really cool TARDIS. That's the one I found in Canada. That's my furthest north geocache was Brad's cleverly done TARDIS with the clever puzzle inside. So there you go.
There you go.
Very cool. Well, great answer, Jesse, on that one. Gary, we're back to you
All right.
on here. So, that was a pretty good answer there. So
Yep.
This question is a good one. And, a lot of times we look at geocaching as in the accomplishments and the good things that happen. But this question is, what is your biggest geocaching mistake that you've ever made?
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
You got to tell on yourself now.
Yeah.
How honest would Gary be?
Geocaching mistake.
And while he's thinking of that, I got to bring this up. There's got to be a list out there. I need a TARDIS list.
Oh, that would be cool to have a TARDIS list.
Why does that not already exist? We should.
I know.
Have that.
Why? Yeah. Somebody needs to do that.
Yeah.
God.
And then create a TARDIS tour, perhaps, going around to all the different TARDISes.
There's got to be I know you couldn't make a challenge for it because I don't think it would fit, but like an old school challenge where like find this many TARDISes around, take your picture in front of it. I have hidden a TARDIS about this big that was 3D printed. That was like one of those,
Oh yeah, very cool. Yep, we gave
Nice.
I
one.
mean, it was stolen, but it was still pretty cool while I was there.
So, the one that comes immediately to mind is I had somebody the other day ask me about a travel bug that I took from Memphis from the last Cache Fest.
Oops.
And I went, I took a travel bug from the Cache Fest? He goes, well, yeah, I handed it to you. I was like, you did? So I scoured. It's like losing my geocoin that one day. I looked everywhere. I looked through the car. I looked everywhere. And sadly, I had to send them a message and tell them, I think I lost your travel bug. I'm very sorry. So I need to do a resurrection of that one. You know how you can do that resurrection thing where you can bring it back to life? So that's a big mistake that I feel so bad about, the fact that I lost there. I mean, it happens, but you just don't want it ever to happen to you.
It does happen.
I mean? Yeah, you hate that. Like, oh man, that sucks. So that's probably my biggest one. Or most of the other ones are just embarrassing. Like we went out to find a cache and I was going up a ravine and ripped my pants open, so we had to duct tape them together to get home. So
that happens.
That happens. That's not really.
I've definitely ripped my jeans on finding caches before.
Yeah. So,
barbed wire ripped jeans in a heartbeat. Just whoosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. But I felt so bad because, like, oh my gosh, because they went to the trouble of handing it to me, and it's gone. So I need to help them resurrect it.
Oh man. Yeah, we got one from the chat. Retro Gaming Girl said she walked in a swamp area and then found a dry trail on the way out about 20 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've all done that.
Absolutely.
We've all
done similar versions with climbing mountains. You just go straight up the screed.
Yep.
And then you get to the top and there's like a nice paved trail. And you're like,
there's a nice trail down.
Yeah. I could have meandered instead of like falling the whole time up.
Yep. Oh, well, yeah. There's plenty of mistakes. Yeah, Jess and I wandered around for a while till we figured out what to do. We read the directions and then we were fine. So I don't know if that's really a mistake.
I think I've talked about my dumbest mistake that I ever made. And it wasn't even just a single mistake. It was like a period of time mistake.
Right.
So it was like in the first 200 caches. But you remember how they really touted it as wireless geocaching many years ago? I mean, paperless geocaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that for some reason, because I didn't have anybody to talk to. I didn't know anything at the time. I thought that meant you just log it online and don't sign the log.
Oh my. Yep.
Yeah. Until later on, I went to an event and they were like, I was like, yeah, I'm that dumb. I did that. I did that. And I had to go back and refine some caches. But luckily, I wouldn't find it very many at a time then, so it wasn't that hard. But I was like, paperless caching. That makes sense. You log it online instead of wasting the paper. Cool. Yeah, that's not what it means.
No.
So I did that. I'll admit it. I don't care.
Oh man. Well, it's a game where we all learn along the way, and the community helps us to learn on that side. So that's always good.
What if I can click on a comment? Oh yeah, it does. It'll bring it up. Cool.
Oh man, there you go.
I'll tell you, these phones are great these days. I like that idea.
Yeah, I've thought about getting one of those tiles or whatever.
Yeah,
like $19. Try to find one on sale and send a travel bug out with it so you can check its location in the world. But I figure people might steal it.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, Gary in the chat room saying on your answer, +1 point for the honesty, but -5 points for losing a trackable. So,
Yeah,
that puts Jesse in the lead. That's what I'm talking about.
Direwolf's rough. He's a rough character to. He's a tough customer.
Appreciate his honesty on this one for sure.
There you go.
All
right.
So Jesse, we got another question for you on here.
All right.
This is one where I have some ideas how you're going to answer this, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what you say. Now, geocaching, everybody has pet peeves, right?
Oh no.
But I'm wondering, what's your biggest geocaching pet peeve out there?
I have a bunch.
I knew this would be. Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of a crossover. So I can give you an exact example. Well, I'm not even take that one out because some people may know who that person was. But I'm gonna give you a more generic example. But really, like one of the things that I think is the best about geocaching is that you can play the game however you want. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's guidelines, right? They don't call them rules; they call them guidelines for a reason because there's it's up for interpretation. You can get into whatever little minutia that you like, and I only like to find FTF, so that's all I'm going to find. I'm not going to do anything else. Or I only like to streak or do power trails or find 5.5s. That's the best part of the game, in my opinion. The worst part of the game, in my opinion, is when people look down on other people for the way they play the game.
Yeah.
Like this person didn't do this, they're cheating, or this person, they only do this, and that's not how you're really supposed to play the game. Or like you used to hear a long time ago, well, if you're not doing it using a GPSR, then you're not really doing it. Phone caching is not real. And you don't hear that anymore because everybody uses a phone, but paper maps are nothing, or all this like judgmental stuff in the game. I think that is a terrible, terrible example of what geocaching should be. And play the game however you want. Like, some people may want to, I don't know, find certain kinds of caches, and you think they're the dumbest thing in the world, but shut your mouth and let them play the game they want to play. And, I don't think they did this right, so they're cheating. There's whole Facebook groups. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, right? But there's groups and people get all off on that stuff and take it off. It's supposed to be a fun game. Let people play how they want to play. And so if I was to sum it all up, my pet peeve is when people look down on other people for how they play the game.
Yeah.
Just shut up and go play. If you don't like it, don't pay attention to them. You're not getting money for it. It's not a competition unless it's against yourself.
Right.
And just have fun and let everybody enjoy it how they want. There's some things in the game that I think are dumb and I don't really care to do them, but I don't care if other people like it. Go for it. But you be that guy. You be that guy that's the best in the world at that thing that you like, and have fun with it and go for it.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah, I agree. And a few good comments in the chat too from Andrea. People who actively cache but do not maintain any of their caches at all. Saying we're talking heaps of caches in disrepair, mostly geo trash.
I'm with her 100%. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, if we want to sit and list pest peeves all day, we could do a show just with that. But
Yeah, really.
yes,
Stealing our
cash
ideas
Kieran for Kevin. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Creepy Leech on that one. And
Yep.
it sounds like you're getting a good resounding endorsement from GCD SK11. And chat room, how do we think Jesse did? We got to give him a point on here.
Oh yeah.
Marshall Jukic located anyone there as DNF and says that didn't even look because of the bad experience with ticks before. Yeah, I've seen those, and it's funny too, right? You'll see those logs where they say like, "I saw it but didn't want to go after it because it was muddy or something." You're like, "That's not what it is."
Doesn't count. That's not a fine.
A lot of that is education, right? Like,
yeah,
you can do that in a nice way. Like, hey man, that's not exactly how this works. You can reach out to them if you want to. You don't have to like go off on people.
Yeah. Yeah, and oh man, Houston, Texas Dave gave you a heck of a score there, Jesse.
Nice pie. I like it.
A pie. I love it.
Yeah.
Plus pie.
I love it. Eat more pie.
Yeah.
That's just good life advice. Eat more pie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's hard to have a bad day if you eat some pie. Just saying.
I love pie. Now you're gonna make me hungry.
Oh man. Okay. In Retro Gaming Girl, man, 1.7. 1.7.
Nice.
Better than 1.2.
Yeah.
Now moving up. There we go.
Moving on up for sure. Okay, so Gary, coming back to you on this one.
Yep.
And this is a good one too. So geocaching is about rules and guidelines, right? We were talking about this.
Yep.
So can you name one rule you would get rid of and one that you would add?
Oh wow, that's a great question. One that I would add. The one I would add, I know that one that comes to mind immediately, which is some way where we could track how many caches a person actually found and not allow them to place a cache until they have to become certified. Because it seems like people just, if they find junk caches, what are they going to do? They put out junk caches too. It's like they don't know any better. So it's almost like we're just perpetuating the pill bottle under a tree. Not that there's anything wrong with the pill bottle under a tree. I understand that. But it just seems like there's got to be a better way to educate the public into helping them to place caches better, or even put them out. That's another thing. I think it would be a combo, which would
Driving
be
permit
like a driving permit.
Yeah.
Very good. Exactly.
Yeah.
So some kind of certification process that shows you know enough about geocaching to start hiding caches.
Yeah, and also I think that tied into that permit is that you're only allowed to find so many before you have to place some, before you have to put some out. Because there's a lot of people out there that have found thousands. They've never put one out themselves. Like, this game doesn't get done without makers. And if
that going to lead to
could lead
people that don't want to maintain caches?
It could, but I think you'd have to. But yeah. So then, as far as rules to remove, rules to remove. I think the rule that I think I would want them to remove. Oh, this is a tricky one though. Is the idea that you cannot promote anything. I think that
agendas.
Yeah, but I think if it's done properly, like maybe obviously it'd have to go through the reviewer would have to sort of really get involved in it and make sure that the approval is for something that's legit. I know that's tough. It'd be a tough rule to enforce. But like the other sport people do that has the M word, I mean, a lot of their stuff is tied to promotions, or not only but like charities.
Yeah.
So, like they did back when they were doing the whole ice bucket challenge.
Yeah.
They put
Mhm.
out some ice bucket challenge items. So I would say it'd have to be big stuff. So like St. Jude. So if I wanted to put out a cache in honor of something like St. Jude or Alzheimer's, research, or cancer, stand up to cancer, or something, not just, Aunt Polly's sciatica. I mean, it'd have to be something. I think it'd
Like
have
an
to be
approval process to.
to get approval of it. Once it was approved, then I think it could go on a list. I mean, that's kind of a pain. Somebody has to keep that list. But I think that it maybe doesn't have to be a list. It would just be, here's what I want to promote. And the reviewer would look at it and go, I need a little bit of documentation. And you give them that little bit of documentation and they go, yeah, that's legit. They have a legit, it's for something that's a legitimate charitable cause, I guess.
This almost sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, kind of like the partnership attribute in a way. So,
Mhm.
so some we're in agreement. So, I mean, it sounds like they could actually bring back the partnership attribute, maybe for these kind of situations.
Yeah, it is easier. By McDonald's. See, we don't want that. Then you're going to get into waymarks that are at a McDonald's. That's not really.
Well, hey, there is a category for restaurants and waymarks.
There's categories. You're right. So
yeah,
and I mean, Direwolf is correct. It is so much easier for them to say no to everything. But is that really? Maybe it's time that we make them.
It's not my question, so it doesn't matter what I say.
It's okay.
But I would never change that rule if I was HQ.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way. There's too many agendas out there that the country, not even the world, but the country is so polarized. Everybody hates something. You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine wanting to take that on as an organization.
Yeah, it's a bear trap to step in for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of, while there's some times that I have been wanting to promote something,
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't have this. Geocache is one of those things that I go to do to get away from ads and politics and all that other stuff. And I'd hate to see that filter. Even though, like, obviously we raise money for St. Jude, and I would love to see, St. Jude charity stuff. Could you imagine also having to go to a cache and it's like some political ad, or
no? Yeah, we wouldn't want politics.
Yeah.
And there's currently ways around it. I understand. I mean, I put a cache near a clothes closet, but I just can't mention that clothes closet. I can I can talk around it, and that's what we have to kind of do now. Is you can talk around the issue. You can't really mention that particular place. So
another reason you could never pay me to be a reviewer. No,
it's a tough job.
Yeah, like you would have to pay me because I would be done with geocaching, and I'd have to do something. So,
yeah.
Oh man, well, good answer, Gary, on that one. I don't know.
I didn't get a point, but that's okay. I'm okay.
Well, let's see what does the chat room want to give Gary for that answer.
Somebody said it was a negative. So,
oh man, they could issue negatives. But let's see what they have to say.
Somebody said Jesse stole the point. So,
oh man.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Since
all
the points are made up,
that would be bad.
Negative pi, dang.
Oh man, and Gary's keeping you positive there.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, Houston, Texas, Davis.
Thanks, Dave.
Oh man, and Direwolf said 1 pity point.
Pity point. I don't want your pity points. You keep your pity points, Direwolf.
1.4. There you go.
1.4. Man, digging that.
Okay, there you go.
Digging that. Okay. So, Jesse, now we're coming over to your court on this one.
Uh-oh.
So this is one where sometimes you ask questions on would you go? Do you have one preference versus the other on this one? Not just for pizza toppings, by the way.
Okay, good.
But if you had to let go of one or the other, what would it be? Would you get
Oh,
rid
good.
of large caches, or would you get rid of all micro caches?
You can't keep two. You have to keep one.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah,
insidious.
what would you get rid
That
of?
is terrible.
I
You gotta
love the
pick one.
question. I loved it.
Yeah, I have to pick one to get rid of.
Yep.
Yeah.
One that has to go.
They all go away. There's no more of them after that.
So,
Be
I
careful.
hate you, Gary. This is a hard one.
That's right.
So thinking through this, I prefer large caches over micro caches. But that's mainly because when I was caching with my daughters, we'd go for swag and stuff. So I'd hate to see that taken away from people, but that could fit in a regular as well. I'm gonna have to say I would get rid of large, which is shocking, but because I think if you got rid of micro, there's a lot of urban caching or like sneaky gum caches or bolts that you could never do. And a regular is fine, right? That's up to an ammo can size.
Yeah.
So I've never really seen now, like if you have a TARDIS, if you call in that large,
No.
that would be different because usually there's a container inside it, right?
That's
Associated with
another.
it.
Yeah.
But like just a 5-gallon bucket, those are usually not that exciting. But there's definitely some places where you need to really hide something in urban settings. So I'm going to say I would get rid of, not that I would ever want to. This is a horrible situation, but
It is horrible.
I would get rid of large over micro just because I think the micro is used properly in a lot of urban settings that you couldn't stick a large bucket under that. So I like larges. They're hard to find anyway, but given that terrible choice, I'd have to get rid of a large.
She's exactly right.
Yeah, they're few and far between anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, most of my finds are all less than large. So,
Because in reality, that large container usually has a small logbook anyway in it. So it's really just they inflated it to make it large. There are some awesome larges, but
well, I mean, like Terryall. Terryall doesn't have to be large. It is,
right,
but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
it's out in the middle of the. It's out in the middle of the sticks. So
Terryall is a regular, isn't it? It's an ammo can.
No, it's a. I thought it was a Home Depot bucket.
Oh, Terryall. Yeah. I'm sorry, Terryall in Colorado. Yeah. That one is. It's an orange. Well, it was an orange Home Depot bucket when I went to it.
Home Depot
I was thinking of Rickery for some reason.
Oh yeah, Rickery is an ammo can, which is regular, right?
Yeah, that's regular size.
So
yeah, ultimately, I would say large would be the one I'd have to cut out of those two. Which I hope they never cut any sizes, but
I agree.
Yeah, and for the points on this answer, it's I get a -10 for asking that question.
That's a mean question. That was my mean question. Should go.
Yeah, so
should be.
I'm at -10 points wise, guys. So just to be clear, I'm far in third place at this point.
What a terrible question. Yeah, that's terrible. How can
that is a hard one. That is a hard question, Gary. That was a good one.
Yeah. I have to ask the hard questions sometimes, guys.
Sometimes you got to do it.
So speaking of that, Gary, I got a question for you on this one. Okay. In this one, for geocaching events on here, should mega events charge and use tickets like concerts? What do you think?
Should they or could they?
Should
they? No, I would say no to should, but I would say yes that they could. And the reason I say that is because it's very expensive to put on a mega. And I think that we so often forget that. It's like a podcast. Podcasts aren't free. Somebody's got to pay something for them. I mean, without patrons, this podcast wouldn't exist. I mean, we've got expenses. StreamYard costs money. There's other things that cost money. So now some of that's made up with merchandise sales. But I think they could. Should they? I think if all of them did it, the problem is you can't get all of them to do one thing. So I would say they shouldn't, but I think they could.
So what if you threw a twist in there and it was gigas?
Oh, right. A giga?
Because they're talking about now coordinating 5,000 plus people, right?
Yeah.
Which becomes less of a geocaching event and more of a real community concert type event.
I would think that a giga, they should charge you to go to a giga. Just because of the costs. It costs a lot of money to put those on.
Yeah, and I think we're talking about a nominal fee too, right? Like if it was ever going to be viable, it'd have to be like $5 or something, right? You know?
Yeah, oh yeah, nothing. Yeah, nothing.
And really, I think I'm not a big fan of it either. But why I threw it in there is because as these get bigger and bigger, not necessarily here, but like in some of these other countries, you kind of need to know how many people are actually coming, right? And you can't really know that. And a lot of times, unless you have tickets pre-purchased at a certain time, even if the tickets were like $3, something cheap that shows that people are going to probably come to it.
Yeah,
I don't know. As they keep getting bigger, I worry about how we're going to be able to put them on and things like that.
Yeah.
When you have 500 or 600 people, you can manage that. When you have 10,000 people, like in Germany or something, I don't know how they're making.
I don't know how. But she's talking about concerts. Concerts can be expensive. They can be. I mean, or
oh yeah. If it ever gets like that, I'm not going.
Definitely.
I mean, I heard of people paying $2,000 to go see a hockey game for one of the Stars games. It's like, I'm not paying that kind of money for even for a concert.
Yeah.
I mean,
people line up for like 3 days to try to get tickets. They're trying to get. If it ever gets like that, it would ruin the game.
Yeah, -2 for charging $5. Well, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Gary. You get 2 points.
2 points. That's fine.
Still ahead of me. I'm still at -10. And
that may have been for me. I'm the one who said $5, so that may have been -2 for me.
Okay. Well,
I would say they could. Should they? Things don't. I mean, I think the thing that Drusilla needs to remember is that nothing's free. Sorry, nothing's free.
And I think I think what's more realistic is at some point when they start getting bigger and bigger.
Yep.
Even if the ticket doesn't cost much money, it would be one of those, you got to get a ticket ahead of time. So at least you know who's coming, right? Like just a register, just like a ticket, even if it was free, this is your ticket to come in the door, but it's going to cut off at some point. And we got to know how many people are coming in because we got to have a bigger venue or a smaller venue. But you still want people to show up at the last minute. So that's a hard thing for geocaching.
It is.
It's a tricky one for sure. No question.
Or, like at a baseball game, there's X number of tickets. This is the max.
That's it.
You buy them ahead of time or buy them at the door, but it's only at that. We don't have that problem a lot here as much, but I mean, like worldwide, I'm thinking I can see where there'd be like, we cut it off at X number of people and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good answer on that one. Jesse, we're coming back to you on this one.
Uh-oh.
And the webcam conversation and questions come up quite a bit from time to time. So with webcams, should they all be killed and all of them go away, or should webcams come back in full force where anybody can put a webcam out? What do you think?
Is this an either or do I have an option?
Either or, man. Either they all go away or they all come back.
I don't agree with either of those. But
that's the tricky part.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, I would rather them all go away than them come back and just be wide open. Because they would be trash if they came back wide open.
It'd be Waymarks.
They'd be at Walmart and like all kinds of stuff that would be terrible. It would be this terrible. It would be that category that none of us talk about.
Turn into
Waymarks.
Yeah.
It would just be, there'd be 5 on every corner and they would not be special anymore. If I had to pick between just open them wide open or just closing it out because there's only 200 left anyway, I would pick closing them out. Neither of those, I think, is a good solution. I think they should bring it back out only associated with GeoTours.
Right. I like
So
that
it keeps
idea.
them extremely
That's a good
rare,
way to do
but
it.
they're maintained extremely well, and you can still go find them somewhere, and it makes GeoTours more special. But
I agree. I like
open
that
and
idea.
wide open, where people that just get into the game can that's terrible, terrible plan.
Yeah.
I mean, think of a person that jumps on the phone, never talked to anybody, and they open 5 webcams and then disappear the next day.
Yeah.
And never had permission, right? Like it's Joe Bob's Ring camera in front of his house.
Yeah.
That would be terrible,
the ring
right?
cameras. That would be bad.
Yeah,
But
it's got a good
if
ring.
they
to
did it with some regulations, I think it'd be cool if they came back with some really strict regulations.
I always loved your idea of megas, gigas, and geotours.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Even like at a mega, you have one for the weekend. Cool.
Yeah.
That's a rare thing to get. Rarity is valuable in geocaching.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Okay,
Your
good.
questions are these either or questions are mean. I'll
Good
remember
answer.
that next time we do this.
You're mean, Pizza Ninja.
Yeah.
Minus 10.
Oh man, I'm down to -20.
Yeah, I give 20. Yeah, you lose 10 points for that.
You guys are gonna make me eat some like sad pizza tonight, then.
I guess so.
At that one.
I mean, like pizza with only pineapple on
it. Oh, you mean some of the best pizza in the world? Yes, sir. Okay. Oh man. So Gary, coming back to you on this one.
Okay.
Here's a question. We kind of answered. We just kind of talked about this, but if HQ were to get rid of one cache type, but not webcams, okay, we already asked that. What would you pick? What would that cache type be that would go away?
I would pick,
and you can't say waymarks because they're not a real cache type.
Yeah,
don't even
not
try.
Yeah.
Don't even try.
Mine's gonna be kind of weird, I think, or maybe off. Well, we'll see. Mine would be letterbox hybrids, because a true letterbox is completely different than a letterbox hybrid, and really, a letterbox hybrid, all that means really it's a traditional with a little extra fluff on it. So, I mean, there's cool ways to do letterboxes,
of course.
But if you really look at the rules on a letterbox hybrid, there's not really. I mean, technically, by the rules, you can call anything a letterbox hybrid as long as it has a stamp in it. We found
not quite true.
Well, but remember we found
Where I Go cannot be a letterbox hybrid.
Well, that's true. You're right.
Oh yeah,
it can't be. But traditional or that's one of the top cache types that I've found, because Jesse and I in our group we found 130 letterbox hybrids that day.
Yeah, and one day
letterbox hybrid power trail.
Yes.
Yeah. That was at a mega. We were at a mega for somewhere.
Yeah. Cisco, Texas. We found 135 letterbox hybrids. Think about that. Did we stamp all those? No. Was there a stamp in every one of them? Yeah. Little tiny stamp. We had one letter on them. The guy taken and cut. He'd take like stamps, and he'd cut them all up into little. So he had one little stamp.
Oh,
it qualified, but yeah, I'd dump the letterbox hybrid. Let it go back to the old days. Maybe that would bring letterboxes kind of back in the style. I don't know, but there you go, letterbox hybrid.
Maybe. Okay, good answer, Gary. There was
thank you.
A lot of answers on this one. Earth caches were out there as well too.
No.
And Tony said traditionals, but then he was just kidding on this one.
Yeah.
And Curious KDB, letterbox on that one.
She agrees with me.
I think I would agree with you, Gary. I think letterbox would be the weakest category. That's the one I would get rid of.
Yeah.
Not that I want to get rid of those, but if I had to, yeah.
Again, another -10 for Pizza Ninja for the cruel question.
I have to ask these guys. I have to. I can't always ask the easy ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only reason I wouldn't get rid of Earth caches, although I would if it came
Chris-
down to it.
Christy would get
There's a
rid
lot
of
of
it.
like national parks that only let you put virtual stuff in there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sure Christy is in the other room screaming Earth Cache.
She would get rid of Earth caches yesterday, without a doubt. Hates
In
them.
a heartbeat, she'd get rid of them.
Yeah.
Oh man. So on the topic of virtual caches, Jesse,
Uh-oh.
virtual caches. So should we bring them back for everyone? So anyone
No.
who wants to have a virtual cache to put out there? No, resounding no. Why?
So, and like I've said, HQ doesn't agree with me. They're like, everything for everybody, and they keep things as cheap. I mean, they kept for like 20 something years. The price of the yearly membership was the same, and everything's been the same. If I was running HQ, which I shouldn't be, by the way, but if I was running HQ, I'd bring them back, but you'd pay for them. It'd be a premium service, something special like that. You'd have to pay for it. So you wouldn't do something stupid like
Yep.
put it at a McDonald's or whatever. Usually, you would do something very valuable for it. If the question is, should they just bring them back willy nilly? Absolutely not. Because just like the webcam stuff, people would put them in stupid places. We have enough stupid caches. The reason why I think virtuals are kind of cool is you usually only get one, maybe you get two, but you should most likely you're gonna do something really cool with that because it's the one that you own.
Mhm.
If you had 15 of them, you'd be throwing them in your neighbor's yard, and you'd be doing all kinds of dumb stuff with them. They're unlimited.
If you had to pay $500 for one, I guarantee you're going to find a good spot for it. You're not going to throw it away because
they wouldn't do it. But I mean, if they opened it up right now and said, no, before they ever open up virtuals again, if they just said you can buy a package for $500, one webcam and one virtual, they would sell out tomorrow. Now they've brought virtuals back now, so it's not as valuable, right? But
yeah,
if they open those up, they'll be trash. They'll just be terrible.
Yeah,
there'll be a lot of good ones, and there'll be a lot of. I mean, if there's no limit, you could hide 1,000 virtuals tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Just get on the map and dot them across, and that would be. It would be that game that Gary mentioned, right? It'd just be a drive down the highway, capturing things, and that's not the game I would want.
No, I agree.
Okay. Yeah, fair answer. Chat room, what kind of score does Jesse get on that one? Feel free to give him a -40 if you want, so I can get out
-40. That's not very nice.
No, he gets good. Jesse got good points on that one.
Yeah, I think you're going to get good points for sure on here.
And if they had some kind of request process, like I think Drusilla just said it in there, but yes, that would be good. If they didn't but there's a lot of adventure labs out there right now. There's a lot of them.
Yeah,
I would not want there to be as many virtuals as that because they would not be rare anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not even against adventure labs. I look at that as a whole separate category, right? That's caching, but it's a different type of caching. It's fun to find adventure labs and stuff. But I would hope they wouldn't water down virtuals like that.
No, I agree.
There's so many cool challenges built around them, and people really like them. And I hope they don't water them down like that.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Okay. So Gary, question for you on this one.
Yep.
And I know you're into movies, and I know you're into geocaching, right?
Yep.
So if they made a movie about geocaching, who would you want to play you in this movie?
Wow. Let's see. I'm getting old, so I need to pick some. Oh, I could pick somebody who would make me look young, right? If I pick.
Yeah, you could pick anybody you want.
Yeah,
I don't want to pick Harrison Ford because he's old and decrepit. So let's see. Who would be?
In chat room, put your answers in on this one too.
Oh gosh, that's going to be open.
Want to see
Black. Yeah,
who you would think on this one too.
No.
Get Tom Hanks. He's pretty cool.
I'm not. So I need to pick somebody that doesn't look like me, right? Or they have to be short and squatty.
I think it's wide open.
Yeah, you can choose whoever you want to represent you in a movie, Gary. Whoever you want.
Let's go with Ryan Reynolds. He's kind of I can be funny at times, and he can be funny at times. can be irreverent. He can, he does Deadpool, but he also is we both love Wrexham, the Wrexham Football Club. So, yeah, I'm gonna pick Ryan Reynolds. There you
Great.
go. Final
like
answer.
Great pick. A lot of good answers in the chat room too.
Jack Black.
Steve Austin.
Steve Austin. Stone Cold.
There's a different direction.
Okay.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Only
Drew
if I can
Carey.
do a lot of consulting about the part. That's all I'm saying.
Carey.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so shifting to another question for
Drew
Justin.
Carey. I like that one.
Drew Carey.
That was a good one. And for anybody, by the way, okay, make sure you put in the hashtag rapid to be entered into our
Yep.
giveaway, which I think probably we're going to have another question coming up. We still have to release the clue for the vault.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This one as well too. So we got those ones coming up too. So make sure you put in hashtag rapid to be eligible for the giveaway. So
Sorry, I had to. Yes, there would be 1,000. Yeah, we'd have to have 100, like a Michael Bay film.
Oh, gotta be.
oh man,
Thousands of, and
how could you not?
CGI out the wazoo like Transformer movies. We'd have to have CGI everywhere.
Is it a real movie if there's no explosions?
No,
It's just a love story otherwise. So it's
right.
Yeah,
It's just a Christmas movie without. I mean, if you put in like explosions,
Die Hard, first of all.
you
Let's
get
not
Die
get into
Hard.
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
You have to have it.
And I don't know, has there been a good GIF with explosions? Just saying.
that. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe there should be. Just to put out there an idea for everybody.
There you go.
Yeah. So question for Jesse, and I think this is probably a good one for both of you guys. Your favorite Geocache Talk Network guest over the past 7 years, since we're coming up on our 7th anniversary on June 18th. Who has been your favorite guest over the past 7 years?
I will pick. I'm going to pick Doug McRae. The reason I picked Doug, he's the guy who invented Ms. Pac-Man. I think it's because I didn't think at the time we could ever get somebody like that who has such an incredible story. Somebody who, for me, that was mind-blowing that we could get Doug McRae. I mean, it's always, and still is, always amazing that we can get somebody from HQ. We always felt like we kind of arrived when we had somebody from HQ. But when we had Doug on and hear the stories of how they, and we don't have time to go into it, but the story of just how they went from being sued by the people that made Pac-Man to then working with them to make Ms. Pac-Man is an incredible story. And to have him on to talk about that, we've had him on a couple of times. So yeah, for me, it would definitely be Doug McRae. So Jesse?
So you went that way. I'm going to go a different direction.
Okay.
So yes, we've had a couple people that have a little more fame than others, and we did the treasure people and stuff like that too. But I'm going to go with, which really you would classify as a normal cacher in that status. However, they have an amazing life outside of that.
Yeah.
And she makes me laugh a lot every time we have her on. We've only had her on a few times, and we've met her in person. But just Trinity is what I'm talking about.
Action.
Good pick.
Action Trinity. I mean, she was in the WWE. She's the wrestling there, and she's literally a stunt person.
Yeah.
And I've never talked to a stunt person before, other than her. And she set herself on fire and crashed cars for fun as a job.
Yes.
And not just is that cool, but when she was on, she was so high energy.
Definitely.
Christy was in the background. I think may have been the first time was it Podcast of Hope we had her on the first time, or was it?
Yeah,
before?
first time was Podcast Hope. Then we had her on later. Yeah.
Like Christy was in the other room and she was like, "Y'all should have her on all the time." She was just enjoying it so much, and I was.
She is.
And I know we've had famous people on and stuff too, and she counts as famous with the stuff she's done too,
I
right?
agree.
And movies and stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because of that, it's just she was such a fun person to have on, and it was one of those like where you like don't even want to finish the segment. You want to just keep just talk for a while, just say more funny stuff.
Oh yeah, she is
She's
great.
so high energy, and she's one of my favorite that we've ever had on. So
yep,
she's
wonderful.
We can name a lot of people, right? And there's tons of people we've had on, but probably the most fun was her.
Yeah,
actually, Trinity she's just fun to like talk to.
Oh yeah, she's wonderful.
Yeah.
We got to meet her too, which was great.
Yeah,
in person,
yeah. And she was exactly that fun in person too.
She was hilarious. Yeah, good pick.
Yeah, good picks on that one. So I think that's it for our questions for tonight on here.
I think Jesse won. I think he's the winner tonight.
Yeah, I unless we're playing by golf rules.
Yeah.
And if we're playing by golf rules,
then I really lost.
I would be the winner, on that one. But
you were severely under par for golf.
Yeah. Oh man, 10 points for Jesse. Yeah, Jesse.
That puts me over the top. Look at that.
Yeah. Congratulations, Jesse, on that front
for way to win.
Yeah, for all those good questions onto that side. Now, a couple things we still need to do for tonight is we still need to put out the clue for key 31. So if everybody's ready on that, we're going to show the first clue for that key. And
the first one.
Here we go.
That's a picture.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody has a good idea of where it could be.
Look at that hat.
Yeah.
That is a serious hat.
On Tom. That's crazy.
Oh man. I hope that hat was a trackable on that side.
Yeah, I may have to. Yeah, when you post it, people are gonna have to really kind of hunt for the. Now, that's the first clue of that one.
Mm-hmm.
So
correct. So a second one will be coming.
Yes,
on that one
there'll be a second, and I think that's it. Then that's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's two on this one. So, well, we'll have to wait and see. Flavor Flav. That's funny.
Hagar the Horrible. Oh my gosh. I haven't heard that forever.
Hagar the Horrible. I love it.
It was a cartoon way back in the day.
Way back.
A cartoon.
I wonder if it's still around. I loved Hagar the Horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool on that one. So yeah, that other clue will be coming. And
I do want to say something real fast, if I could, before we wrap up, is that if you come to Cash Fest and you don't have a key with you, fear not, because there will be some keys to find that week.
Hidden around town.
So with all the things going on for Cash Fest, there will be a chance to find some keys locally. So there's always opportunity. Even if you come empty-handed, you might find one prior to the vault being opened. So there you go.
Do you think we could get one around the neck of one of the bison?
No. But
wait a minute. Yeah, how about the question? Do we think Jesse could get one?
I think it's probably a federal crime to do, in fact.
But
they're probably protected by some federal statute somewhere. So,
but any good brainstorming session would include a lot of things that we don't want to do. But that's what brainstorming is about.
That's right.
But yes, I like where you're headed. I like where your head is.
There you go.
I like how you're thinking.
Oh man, what do you think? Do you think we should do the giveaway?
Yes. Let's give something away tonight.
Giveaway time.
Oh man. Okay. So last chance to put the hashtag rapid.
While we're waiting for the last chance, people, I do want to say, if you win, I will give you your choice from the sunken treasure chest, but I don't have them with me tonight. But I will go over the possibilities with you next week when I'm back in town. So just FYI. In case you're wondering, you're like, well, what did I win? Well, I'll give you choices, and I'll get with you by email, and we'll figure out what you might want, because I've got
to also include a pat tag.
Yes, you get you get a deep dive path tag on top of that. So, all right, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna do the drawing on here, and we're
Here
gonna wonder who it's gonna end up on.
So Patty King, up, deep dive, up, Drusilla, Buzz, Patty, Robert.
Oh, Barbershop Drew, congratulations.
Barbershop Drew, I love it.
Yeah, so Barbershop Drew, you are the winner onto that one.
You are the winner. There you go.
On here,
how do they collect their prize?
Bring up. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, so Drew, just email geocachetalk@gmail.com with your information, and you will get your prize onto that one.
I'll get with you later, and we'll figure out which one you would like of the coins and books and other possible things. So perfect.
Yeah. So any closing thoughts tonight?
I can say that, we made up a list of questions, obviously, ahead of time. We didn't know what they were, each other's questions. We had never seen them before. Yep. We got nowhere close through the list that we made. We may have gotten,
we'll do it again.
Which we knew we wouldn't, because there's even spur of the moment. We've been, we all have our opinions, just like the chat room did. Everybody had their opinions on these. These are, there's so much to this game. You could come up with 1,000 questions and people would still have different answers for it. So,
oh yeah,
we just want to do that.
I like it. It was a good idea, Jesse, to come up with this. So it's really good. No, I think that's everybody have a good Memorial Day weekend. I'm on the road, but I'm gonna go do a geo tour and enjoy. But let's all remember what Memorial Day is about. If you do social media stuff, please post something about other than what you're barbecuing. Let's try to remind people of the fact that we can do geo tours and we can do barbecues and all that because people lay down their lives for us. So let's do things in honor of people who did what they did for us, and let's remember them this weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it.
Well, hey, Gary, Jesse, thank you so much for the fun tonight. Appreciate you having me on, and I hope everybody else has a good night.
Thanks, care. Pizza Ninja. Thanks for helping.
You're welcome.